So hey guys, it is your girl Deidre with Moments with the Mobleys, or from Moments with the Mobleys, however you want to call it. And so tonight's episode of this episode of Get Ready With Me is actually taking place while I'm getting my hair done. And so I'm like legit getting ready, but I'm not getting ready to go nowhere tonight. But my hair has not been done in 3 weeks, y'all. So I'm literally sitting in my stylist shop, and the Lord worked it out because I needed to record tonight, and so it's just me and her. And so y'all can see her in the background. I'm gonna let y'all talk to her in a minute, okay? Okay. But I just wanted to pose this question to you because this is something that I've been pondering on like all week. And it's mainly because of something that she stepped out and did. And she shared her story on Facebook, as well as I knew that she would be out doing this particular thing. And so it was wonderful for her. Although for me and some of her other clients, we was kind of schizophrenic these last 3 weeks that she's been going, y'all, because if y'all are anything like I am, y'all want your hair done, you know, you can get away with maybe putting on some, you know, some fake lashes, or, you know, but it's just something, you know, special about your hair. You can go and get maybe your nails done or your toes done somewhere else, but it's just something special about your hair. You know what I'm saying? And you can't let everybody in your hair. And so that's the way, you know, I feel about her. And so I just wanted to share some things with y'all and ask y'all some questions, and like really ask y'all to ponder upon or think about like the job that you're doing now. Are y'all happy with it? Are you happy with your career now, what you're doing? And if you're not, are you making any strides to move into or do what you think that would make you happy? What's something, we always ask people, my husband and I always ask people, like, what is something that you would do and you wouldn't have to get paid for it? What is something that you would do and it wouldn't even matter if you got paid for it? 9.999 times out of 10, that one thing is probably what you were created to do, or that's your passion. And so I was just thinking about that, and I'm going to share, you know, all the good stuff that she got to do and stuff like that in just a minute, because there was some good in it. You know, she already told me about it. It was some shenanigans as well. But I just, you know, I want her to be able to share a little bit as I ask her about her experience. But that's my question. As y'all hear the things that, the things that we're going to talk about with her experience and what she had the opportunity to be a part of, I want you to think about your life and what have you been doing to put forth the effort to step out of your comfort zone and do something that makes your baby leap, as my apostle would say. What's making your baby leap? What is it, that thing that you haven't tried to do or haven't tried to accomplish because for whatever reason you've been fearful about it? You want to try it, but you've been doing your current thing for so long that you maybe can't imagine yourself doing something else. Because sometimes that's the fear in it. You know, it's too much to learn. I've been stuck in my way of doing this particular thing for so long, and so I couldn't imagine myself doing something else. Or it takes too much to try to do something else. But I think that in that something else, that's where your purpose is. And so just let me give y'all a little bit of background on, let me tell you, because she's not just a hairstylist. Her name is Latika Moar. And y'all, she's actually, we met, I want to say maybe over 20 plus years ago. And I was living in South Carolina. She was in Georgia. But I would literally come and get my hair done. I believe it was every week or every other week. And I would walk in and she'd be like, do you need your hair done, ma'am? Because she would sleep. I would sleep, y'all, literally on the side of my face, and my hair would be flawless, like it wasn't messed up at all. And she'll be like, I'm sorry, do you even need your hair done over again? That's just how good I used to sleep. That was back before aches and pains came and stuff. And now here we are 20-something years later, and I can't do that anymore. But so I've, and so I would, come and get my hair done. And, of course, we talked about everything under the sun. And then there'd be times when I would go and get all my hair cut off. I was a little bipolar-ish. One day I wanted hair, the next day I didn't. This is not somebody that I just met, and I don't know some of her experiences, life experiences, and things that she's done and hasn't done, and everything like that. So, first and foremost, I'm going to take the headphones out, y'all, so she can actually be a part of this conversation. And she graciously accepted, even though she has her. What kind of rap is that? Because you make me think about the genie raps. Yeah, the turban. And so she's not dolled up, y'all, because she been working. Not working, she been working. And not just in here. And so I just wanted to share some of that with y'all. But y'all will get a picture of her, for real, because baby is bad. And is. Know that she is. Okay, so I'm gonna take the headphones out, and then we a little bit, okay? So we're talking about the camp, y'all. Her camp, her beauty camp. Okay, go ahead.
Now it's called philanthropy.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was punishment. My grandmama was punishing me by doing community service. Not so much punish, but she was trying to keep me busy because there wasn't a lot of activities back in the day. So she didn't want me to get caught up with the wrong crowd. So she would make me go to Wesley Community Center and volunteer. So I've always had volunteer in my blood since I was young. So naturally it just came to me that young kids would gravitate towards me for whatever reason. I guess because I looked their age. So
right.
I don't know what the case was, but throughout my childhood years, I always had to do something in the community, whether it would be with older nursing home people, going out to, during the holidays, we would make baskets, sing Christmas carols, whatever the case may be. So that was always in me. So one day I was just like, I always realized after owning my own salon, people would always say, well, I have a niece or I got a granddaughter who's interested in hair. Would you let them come up here and sweep up, aka babysit?
That part.
So I was like, okay, and it's always around the holidays or spring break or summer break, and I'm like, well, there's a market for this. My entrepreneurial wheels started turning. I was like, well, maybe I should create a camp, because there's a lot of little girls who really want to get into hair, but they don't necessarily get into it until they get a little bit older.
Right.
But I know when I started out in my tween years. So it started with my aunt. She wanted to know what she could buy me for Christmas one year. And she saw that I was into hair. And basically, long story short, she bought me a bag full of goodies, which I don't know if y'all familiar with the Isoplus. That's really telling our age.
Right.
But Isoplus was the thing back then.
Yeah.
So my aunt just bought me a bag full of stuff, and it snowballed. It's amazing what you put out into the atmosphere. And once you start really, taking it serious, God will put the right people in place for you to do whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Right.
But you have to put it out there to His ears, from your lips to His ears to hear, and He'll order your steps.
Yeah.
You'll be wondering why certain people coming in your life, and it's because of what you prayed for. So that's what I've learned in my life's journey, my little short 40 years being on this earth.
Right.
So basically, it started with a magic tote bag that my aunt bought, hair supply stuff for me. And then I started doing the neighborhood kids' hair, just playing. And then eventually, My grandparents moved from off of the west side to the south side. Fate would have it, right around the corner from my salon.
Yeah.
And basically, we met this this military family that kind of adopted my grandparents to be their parents. And she used to do hair. Mm-hmm. So she found out that I was doing hair, and she didn't do hair anymore, but she had all these tools as far as hair supplies. Mm-hmm. Curling irons, rollers, things of that nature. So what she did was she found out that I was into hair, and she actually sold me. This was my first deal I did. And she sold me her supplies for, I think, was it $100? And what we did was I couldn't afford it because I didn't have a clientele. So she just divided it into 4 weeks. And I paid $50 a week until I paid it off. But she allowed me to have the supplies that I need so I can be able to earn the money. Mm-hmm. And so it just snowballed from there. So that's how my camp, that's the basis of my camp, and why I started my camp is because when I was in my tween years, somebody saw in me that, oh, she likes to do hair. Well, let me pour into that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And by my aunt giving me this bag full of goodies, it snowballed into me meeting to this other lady who actually, didn't give me her supplies, but she made me work for it. So
she gave you that opportunity.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it just snowballed. So I was like, well, I'll take that same concept and put it into my camp. Mm-hmm. And basically, a lot of parents started to invest in their child because they see their kid is into doing hair. Yeah. And it starts with, I now give them a magic tote bag full of goodies. Yeah. And that's to ignite into them and spark them whatever it is that they want to do, whether it's doing weave, natural hair, or whatever. But that magic bag has afforded me to be in my own salon and been owning it for 10 years. Not only is I own my own salon, I've got opportunities to do Delaware's Fashion Week. Mm-hmm. I have gone to New York and did Fashion Week with them as well. So it has this one little gift that God has given me. Mm-hmm. Has afforded me to travel wherever. And I haven't even been to places that I want to go to. Right. But it has opened my eyes to show me that it's endless possibilities. Right. Right. With this one craft. Right. So I had jobs. Don't get me wrong. I started out as a hostess. Mm-hmm. But being and doing hair has taken me to heights and afforded me to live a lifestyle that I would never thought I could be able to afford. Yeah. I bought my first home when I was 24. I had my first child, my only child, when I was 19. Mm-hmm. So you can't write people off and say because they started early doing one thing or started late doing another thing that they won't be successful in whatever it is that they do. Right. So I have to sometimes reflect on where I've come from, which was 34th Street, West Side is the best side. And we in Savannah, Georgia, y'all. Right. And I just think about the things that I used to imagine, like, I wish when I get older, I want to live in this certain type of community. Yeah. I want to be a part of this, that, whatever. And I look back and I just had to reflect just last week and say, girl, you're doing it. Everything that I have imagined and just talking to myself, writing it down. I find journals of things that I just jot down and I've read and I have actually done these things. Yeah. Didn't have a chance to cross them off because I just doodle and don't even realize what I'm doodling until I go back and read and I'm like, girl, it's scary and it's eerie sometimes because like you putting it out there and God is listening. He is watching. So I encourage, I know I'm answering all your questions at one time. You're fine. But I just encourage anybody, if you feel like it's something in you, like you said, that you feel like you would do it for free, do it. Yeah. Because that is your passion. Yeah. God has given all of us a passion or a trade or something. We just haven't tapped into it. Yeah. A gift. That's what He's given it. Yeah. And it's in the Bible. I'm not a Bible scholar. Yeah, yes, but I know my grandmama got a couple of them that she instilled. One is your honor. Thy mother and thy father, that your days may be long, which God that gives you. Yeah. I know that one too, a T. But the other one is your gift will make room. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. And I'm learning my gifts my one gift
Mm-hmm.
has made room for itself.
Yeah.
I remember, just like I talked to you, I have a couple of other clients that I've talked to that's in the school industry. And I wanted to do my camp probably 7 years ago now.
Yeah. Tell that story. Yeah.
Okay. 7 years ago. So it's not a microwave thing now. It ain't going to happen overnight.
Say that again, please.
It ain't going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
It ain't.
Yeah.
7 years ago, God planted this very camp on my heart.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It was something, an idea, and I was just toying around with it.
Yeah.
I had things together, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the right time.
Right. Absolutely.
That's what I say. It wasn't. It's his time and not your time. Because if it would have went my time, it would have did what I wanted to do. But God made it do what it do.
Absolutely. And y'all gonna hear what she talking about in a minute.
So
okay, go ahead.
Basically, and see, I done stopped. See, I can't talk. I can't do two things at one time.
We established that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a quick version. So basically, what I wanted to do 7 years ago, it didn't happen. Okay. So I'm just talking to my client, talking, having a regular schmegalo. I'm just doing your hair, talking. And I told her about the idea that I wanted to do. One person called my salon and attempted to sign their child up for my camp. I got nervous and jittery because I know I ain't had it all together. And I didn't. It never went nowhere.
Yeah.
She probably heard it in my voice, like, I don't know.
Yeah. But
me talking to my client, who was at the time, she's retired now, but she was a school principal. And the teachers, they do like sidebar stuff, and that's the after school program. My client became the facilitator. Of the after school program. 21st century, by the way, but we call it after school. We showing our age.
Right.
So she called me. This is like a year later now. This ain't even same year. This is a year later. She says, Tika, and this ain't even at the beginning of the school year. This is January, so they done been in school for at least 3-4 months.
Right.
Now. She came and got her hair done, as she always does, and she said, Tika, would you be interested in coming to the after school program? I'm like, yeah, but what am I going to do?
Right.
She says, all the stuff that you shared with me about wanting to do your camp, do it there. Use that as a beta test. I'm like, okay.
This you, Lord?
Yeah, so I just went ahead, and she gave me free reign and creativity to do whatever it is that I want to do. But she trusted me because I told her about my syllabus. I'm talking like a school teacher.
Right,
so it's like, okay, you got it together. You just don't have the people. Boom, she granted me 24 kids.
Yeah.
They have free reign to do whatever I want to do. And I take that back. It started out with about 16 kids. It was girls. What it started out was, it was girls. So the guys were going with the guys with a barber. So the fellas would be going at a certain time, but then she had room for these little girls.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, I'll let my hairstylist come in and have her, do whatever she wants to do with them. Okay, so I get there. The first day, because I only went 1 day a week. But when they left, I only have them for a couple of hours. When they left, my client came that Friday. I had them on a Monday. My client said, I don't know what you did with them kids.
Wow.
But they are requesting and making sure that you come back next week. And the week after that. And the week after that. So I was like, well, it's basically what I was telling you in my syllabus, what I had planned for the kids for the camp.
Yeah.
And so much so, the boys wanted to be a part of my class.
Yeah.
I'm just doing girly stuff. But I had to incorporate, if there were a boy, if they wanted, because some boys doing hair now. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And, barbers are getting into color on women.
Absolutely.
So, my first class, I started out with color. So my thing is, we're going to have fun, but we're going to also learn at the same time. Just like if you were going to school for cosmetology.
Yeah.
You have to learn the book work.
Yeah.
Then you get on the floor. You don't get on the floor and start doing all this at first.
Yeah.
You got to learn the art of the hair, and you have to learn the knowledge of the hair.
Yeah.
So that's how I did it, but I did it in a fun way.
Right.
Had the kids eating out the palm of my hand from day one.
Right.
So that was year one. That same year, I wanted this January. I only had 4 weeks worth of stuff. So she was like, whatever you come up with. I would be coming up with stuff the day of. Kids loving
it. Yeah.
Loving it. Because we always do we're going to learn first, and we're going to do a hands-on later. They, like I said, loved it. We wound up, the following month, I wanted to do something for them for Valentine's Day. Well, they got word of what I wanted to do, and 21st Century President wanted to have a meeting with me.
Yeah.
And they wanted to fund the idea that I wanted to do, which was teach the kids etiquette, because this is an inner city school. They ain't getting money like
schools.
that.
Right.
This ain't the bougie school.
Right,
it's the hood
inner
school.
City kids, yeah.
Well, they toting guns, and they ain't know that until I found out, like 3 or 4 days after accepting. I was like, wait, what y'all got me in here doing? But anywho, that's another story.
Come on, Lord.
But I wasn't never scared.
Right.
Because I come from the hood. So I got on their level. You know what I'm saying? What we doing?
She low-key thug, though, y'all, too. So, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, like I said, we had that. I pretty much, because my background came from, I went to Huber. And I never forget my after-school program teacher. So all this stuff come together.
Yeah.
My after-school program teacher taught us table etiquette with pizza, salad, plastic forks and knives and napkins. But it made an impact on me to this day.
Yeah, she planted that seed in you.
Right. So I, in return, planted the seed back into the kids.
Yeah.
So a lot of parents have 4 or 5 head of kids, and they got 2, 3 jobs. So they don't even sit down to the table to eat no more, let alone cook a meal.
Right.
But I always wanted to let them know that if you don't remember nothing about Ms. Early, you're going to remember the one or maybe 2 things that I taught you.
Yeah.
And one was the table etiquette.
Yeah.
So I wanted them to have a fine dining experience, because some of these kids will never get to go in a fancy restaurant. They fancy restaurant is Red Lobster.
Yeah.
And I mean, shout out to Red Lobster, because some people like Red Lobster, but
it ain't fine dining.
Right. But to them, that may be
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But I really I started doing the work, and back to what you were saying on, would you do something for free? You know, that's your passion.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love doing hair, but I think the kids in the inner city, something resonates with me. It's my 12-year-old self or 14-year-old self connects with their current 14-year-old self.
Yeah.
And I knew what made me feel good, and when somebody actually took the time and genuinely cared about me. It wasn't what they could buy for me. It was the time that they put into me.
Yeah.
So I was going harder in paint for them. Like, one of the paraprofessionals had to say, I'm glad that you're not stopping, because they always are promised things, because people volunteer to schools all the time.
Yeah.
But they don't always finish what they came to do.
They promised,
because either they're doing it for school to get an extra credit, because, you know, college students come there, or they're coming for show, for volunteer. See, I shake
for the accolades in the streets.
You know what I mean? You know, okay, you know what y'all know what I'm talking about. But for me, when they met me, it was, so you're not from a college, you're not from an organization, so you're really here just because you want to be here?
Yeah,
I was getting a check. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but the money that they was giving me, I was giving back to them.
Right, and probably adding some to it.
Right, because they wasn't giving me no type of funding to do all this stuff that I'm doing, all this hands-on stuff. My whole motto was, if it couldn't come out of the dollar store, we wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about 24 head of kids. Yeah. So if I'm doing one thing per child, and it may require 2 things, that's $24, if not $48.
Yeah.
For the class, on top of whatever else I had to do. And I'm only getting paid a tank full of gas. Yeah. Y'all do the math.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Take that how you want to take it. But that's how much I was getting paid per day. So it wasn't about the money. Yeah. It was about what I saw that it sparked them and ignited them to do or be a part. They look forward to me.
Absolutely.
Just as well I look forward to seeing them. So it was a mutual thing. Yeah. And they felt that. Okay. So we wound up getting this meeting with the president of the 21st Century. Yeah. I decked it out because I used to decorate parties. I had fine china, linen, fresh flowers. I even ordered some food around the corner from Carrie Hilliard's.
Yes, ma'am.
And I had it all printed on the menu because I wanted them to have the experience that I wanted the kids to have. Yeah. Now, I want to just have it at the school.
Right.
They told me, let's take it a step further and go find a restaurant.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
So they told me to postpone from February and wait till, like, make it an end of the year party thing. Well, I was like, okay, cool. But they kept pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off. So that's why the parent was like, I'm glad you did not give up on these kids.
Yeah.
Because it was something, now it's looking like I'm giving a broken promise.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling them, oh, we getting ready for this field trip that was never going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, this same year, they promised me to give funding for these kids. Now I done got with the Pink House restaurant. So they could really have a fine dining experience. And they basically did not come through with the money.
Wow.
So guess who had to come through with the money?
You did.
Me.
Yeah.
And I reached out to my social media page. And I was like, hey, it only takes $25 to sponsor a child.
Yeah.
If you don't have the $25, give what you can. Or we want, my requirement for the kids, all they had to do was, the boys had to wear a bow tie, button down, and some slacks, which they already kind of wear that to school anyway. And the girls had to wear a dress, because I'm like, you can't be a girly girl and have on pants and having this experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So some of them had, and I told them, if you didn't have, you can see me after school, because I didn't want to embarrass them or nothing like that.
Right.
And I know my child had some clothes that she didn't wear anymore, and I reached out to some other people, and they had kids that had clothes. So we got with them. I found out what size shoes and all that stuff. Even got with some of my fellow colleagues who did hair. Pull the girls off to the side. They got free hairdos.
Yeah.
Like, I was pulling
That's
all
what
the
it's about, though,
stops out.
Tika.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get emotional about my girls and my boys or whatever. And even now to this day, when they see me in the street, they stop me and always want to hug me.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes because mask, I can't recognize them, but they recognize me.
Yeah.
And they're like, Miss, they may not remember my name, like what I told y'all, but they remember the experience.
Yeah.
And they remember what I did for them. So they always see me before I see them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, hey. And they like, it's me. And I'm like, oh. And they come give me hugs. Some of them are flourishing and doing hair.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
It's like, they don't know how much I miss them a whole heck of a lot since this pandemic thing. But they've all, some of them, the first class have graduated from high school.
That's amazing.
I send them a couple little change in a card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I told them that first class, when they do graduate, I'm going to be there for it if they send me an invitation.
Yeah.
And the parent got in contact with me, and I wasn't able to make it because of the pandemic and, all this stuff. But I let them know that I was there by sending them a nice little card, a little change. It wasn't much, but a little something to say, Miss Early was a woman of her word.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, back to the thing, and I'm going back to the thing because, I can talk too.
Okay.
And so basically, we wound up having the experience I had to do just like a teacher would. I had to come up with a plan. So it was after school again, but you still have to get with the principal because they have to let the parents know permission slips and all that stuff. They have to get waivers because we did photography. I had to order a bus. Just like if I were a teacher. Yeah. I had my client who was the principal of the after school program helping me, facilitate all this stuff.
Everything done.
But I still had to do the work. Yeah. She just was passing it on. Right. Of what I said I needed and how it needed to go about doing it. So needless to say, at the after school program, I would teach them the importance of etiquette. We would have mock etiquette trials and I would order pizza and things of that nature. But the final exam was to actually go to the Pink House in their nice clothing, and they were to learn how to properly eat at a fine dining experience. And I had the waiters and the waitresses and the maitre d' all in on it. And I was like, this is their final exam, so I need you all to grade them for me. Yeah. So, of course, at the Pink House, during those hours that we were there, because it's like during lunch hour, because we had to go during school. That's why we had to get with the principal. Okay. Because they worked with me on the time and the price. So I had built a rapport with them, the owner, not the owners, but the
management and stuff.
They came, so it was tourists would be in there, and they actually came into the room that we were in because you seen a group full of black children. And they think that we are unicorns already because we shouldn't know anything as it is.
Right.
So to know that these black children sitting in there, and they didn't even know that they were in there because they're not, they have manners.
Yeah.
And they're ordering their food, and I even have them to do the toast. I pick my most problematic child. And we always become the best buds.
Yeah.
And I make them do the toast.
Yeah.
To show them, you don't have to be problematic to get my attention.
Yeah.
Because usually when they do that, they just screaming for attention.
For attention, right.
And so they become my bestest bud. And every one, I don't want y'all to go on these videos and look, but every one of them that's doing the toast was some type of problematic, or they just needed a hug.
Yeah.
And they become my bestest bud. And that's how I pick them. Or sometimes they would volunteer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, they would volunteer. But I would have fresh florals. They have, they get the whole fine dining experience. Glass, everything, silverware, all of the above. And let me tell you about the Caucasian. These particular women were from out of town, and they were very complimentary, but also too, they don't expect this from us. So basically, they were just in awe at the fact that these brown girls and boys were well mannered, and they just watched us as they were ordering their food. They knew how to order and all that stuff. And it was because we had did all these mock trials at the school.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of it all. They knew what glass was for what silverware needed to go with what entree, all of that. So it warmed my heart because I didn't tell them nothing. They would look at me for like reassurance, like, is this the right way? Am I doing it right? And I would turn my head.
Yeah.
But the maitre d's and the doggone waitress and waiters would come to me and say, they did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Because they thinking it's a real final grade, but it really is not. But they already knew, like, I done whooped them in the shape. Like, you ain't going to embarrass me. I'm your mama when it comes to this. But they were such in awe because they said they've had children from private school. Now, their private school pays for this type of stuff. And they would come in, but they didn't know stuff. They would learn while they are there. But to see brown, they ain't saying brown, but you know what they mean, coming in, and they know this stuff already, and you're from an inner city, they looking at us differently.
And I know that was just a proud mama moment for you. Yeah.
So I'm like, that was my first year. So every year afterwards, the kids who've been in my class prior and they still want to be in it, they telling all the other kids.
Yeah.
So it was a snowball effect. So I said all that to say this. It started with my beta test at East Broad Elementary.
Yeah.
For my cosmetology camp. And then fast forward to now, last year, I wanted to do it, but the pandemic happened.
Right.
So God threw a monkey wrench, but he wanted to see. Let me share this little quote here, and I hope your person was be able to chop this up if she can't use it all. But the one thing I've learned, God gonna test you, and He gonna test you. If people out there saying, "Oh, I want to be a millionaire," God ain't gonna trust you with $1 million if you don't know how to manage a dollar. So He gonna test you with $100.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
He gonna test you with $100. He gonna see how you work that $100. You might couldn't work that $100 to $1,000. But if you saying you want to be this millionaire, and you know you don't have good money management skills,
it's the knowledge, wisdom, knowledge.
Right, He's not gonna give you the things or the tools that you require because you're not ready yet. So I wasn't ready 7 years ago.
Yeah.
For my $1 million dream, because it's my $1 million dream. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting emotional, I'm gonna bring it on back in. But I wasn't ready for my $1 million dream back then.
Yeah.
So He had to give me $100.
Yeah.
And see what I could do with this $100. Really $1, honestly. It was $1.
Right.
And He wanted to see if I could make that $1 multiply to $100, or how I would treat that $1.
Yeah.
Because I took my own dollars and help these kids. And I never did it for no clout. I never got on social media and said, "Oh, look at what I did." That's never been me. Ain't never been my style. This is my real testimony right here on this camera.
Right.
Like, I ain't never shared this portion of it.
Yeah.
But now that he saw that, okay, I gave her that $1. She took that one and made 100. Okay, I'm gonna bless her. I'm gonna take her to another tier because I was down here.
Yeah.
Now he took me to this tier.
Yeah.
So I took that $100 and he blessed me with 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, after getting that blessing with that 1,000, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna see what you do with that."
Yeah.
So my 1,000 tier was the camp.
Yeah.
I started doing my work with the camp. I already had it, all the paperwork down packed from 7 years ago.
Right.
Now it's time to put the plan to action.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put the plan to action, I needed some sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. You don't have to spend your money. There's people out here who will cut major.
Mate.
Hear me when I say major checks.
Yeah.
But you got to have your house in order.
Yeah. Your business straight.
You got to have your house in order because back then I got a lot of rejection when I was asking for help for these kids.
Yeah.
The one thing that kept coming up, oh, I wouldn't mind to help you. But I would help you even more if you had your what?
Yeah.
A non-profit.
What is it?
A 501c3.
Oh, okay.
So I kept getting that different forms and ways and from different forms of people.
Yeah.
But it was the same story.
Yeah.
If you got your 501c3,
we can really help you.
we could really. So I'm like, okay. Then I got a phone call from one of my another clients who's a banker. And this at the end of the year, she said, Tika, you still got this a year later. Tika, you still got the camp. Well, it wasn't the camp, it was just the after school thing. But they saw what I was doing. She said, well, every year we nominate somebody to get $1,000. I was going to nominate you because we really don't have nobody to nominate, and you pretty much would have got the $1,000. But she said, what's the one thing you think she said?
Do you have a 501c3, girl? No.
Boom. $1,000.
She wasn't ready.
Went down the drain. I wasn't ready. I ain't had my house in order.
Yeah.
But God was giving me the people.
Yeah.
But it kept saying, you got to get your stuff together.
Yeah.
So what I did, I bit the bullet. I took my own money.
Yeah.
Paid somebody because that's not my expertise. And sometimes we got to get out our own way, y'all.
Please.
We can't do
ask
everything.
For help when you need help and go pay for it.
Thank you. We don't know everything and we can't do everything. And that's my one problem. I felt like I need to do it by myself. But as you start to elevate, you might be a one-man show for a couple of years.
Please.
But as the years go by, you have to get people. There's people in place.
Yeah. Already sent to help you.
Waiting. Waiting
for you to
get
help
your
stuff together.
Waiting for you to ask. For their help.
Yeah.
And once you ask, or you may ask yourself, God, why does these people keep coming in my life? Like, I don't know them. He's sending the people to you,
ma'am.
But you're not taking the help.
Yeah.
Trust me, she done been through it. So now that I see that he's placing these people in my pathway for a reason, it's time for you to start utilizing this stuff. These people, putting them to let them do. That's their trade. That's their gift.
Their gift, yeah.
So now I got them, and I reached out to this lady. Oh, this is what I do. Blah 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 blah. All you got to do is this. Da 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 da. Okay, send it to me. Boom. God is my witness. When the pandemic happened, 2020.
Last year. What's this? 2021. Okay. At 2020.
July. Well, 2019, period. I started getting my stuff together, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not knowing, ain't nobody knew what's going to happen in 2020. We thought, 2020 clear vision for, the 2020 vision. That's all we knew. Okay. Surprise. But surprise, it was a little cloudy with a chance of rain. So, what I wound up, pause this, will you?
Resume.
So, 2019, nobody knew what the forecast was for 2020. All right. So I was getting my stuff. Don't quote me on the exact months, but I knew it was in the beginning part because July I had to send off my final paperwork, which was when it all stopped.
Okay.
But then something came into me and was like, "You need to really get this going." So I reached back out to her and I was like, "Well, hey, they never called me back about anything. Do I need to do anything else?" She was like, "Well, let me, go back and look." And lo and behold, it was just a paper that needed to be signed. And for whatever reason, it never got signed for me to get my 501c3 and all this, my articles and the operations, so I can get my EIN number and all that good stuff, be real legit. Okay, so that happened. Didn't hear nothing else about it. So that's July, August, September, October, November, December, January.
Of 2019.
7 months. So January, whatever reason, I reached out to her again. And they needed something be faxed over. Did it. January, we thought, Happy New Year!
Right,
we thought it was, we going to be
2020, y'all. 2020.
Because it didn't start until March.
Right.
February then went by. I think they approved it February or March. Well, I knew I wanted to get my camp together. So I was like, in order for me to get people to start funding me, I have to have my credentials. Because I need to be able to say, yes, I am 501c3 ready. Here is my EIN number. Blase Skip Run Jump. Because I got to now start writing proposals. For real money. So getting all that together, because it's around tax time, you like, okay, these people are ready to write off stuff, so let me go ahead and get it together. Did that. March hits. I got everything in plan, which I thought. So I reached out to this lady who I do like product evaluation. I do product evaluations for products that haven't hit the shelves yet, or these companies are reinventing their products and they need a black hairstylist to basically give them feedback. So they have selected my salon, and I've been doing it for the past umpteen years, and they want feedback. And I hire people, other hairstylists, to do all this stuff. So I got my fingers in a whole bunch of stuff. But it ain't what you know, it's who you know sometimes too, because it was just coincidental. It's a friend of a high school friend's mother who's always been in the hair industry. And they're from Chicago. And all I knew was about being behind the chair, but I never knew the corporate world of being of hair. And she showed me, because she worked for Carson Products. They moved down here because they were doing hair stuff up there, corporate wise, and Carson Products moved her down here. So she gave me a glimpse 20 years ago of, there's other things besides behind the chair. Like these products. They have to sit to a table and develop all this, the packaging, the bottles, the formulas, everything. You can get a check for this? I never knew that. I just thought you just pick it up off the thing and do what you need to be done. It's a whole nother world. It's a $1 billion industry. And a lot of foreigners get into it. And it ain't just because it's us. They see that we spend money. But that's another story. That's another interview. We do that one other
do that another time.
Okay, so back to the subject at hand. So this same lady who I met 20 years ago through her daughter, she been doing corporate stuff for hair products for a long time. So she has a lot of connects. Well, this other lady, who's a Caucasian lady, is the go-to person when you're doing product developing for products like this. So they need, so I met her through her. And that's how I got that job. I'm telling this story for a reason. This is another level. So basically, for me doing my work with the after-school program, not posting on a regular, just doing what I do. And when I do post, they see what I'm doing. And it's consistent. Even though it ain't consistent on every day, but it's consistent. They see me every year doing the same thing. The lady comes to me.
Come on, Jesus.
And says, we getting set up because they ripped my salon and all this stuff. So I'm turning on lights. She followed me to the back where I'm turning on lights and was like, Latika, tell me about what you have going on. And I was like, at that time, I just started doing film stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing film. I don't know. What do you want to hear? And then she was like, she seen her facial expression was like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. So I'm like, oh, I'm doing stuff with the kids. And she was like, she lit up. Yes. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing things with the kids. She was like, Lanita was telling me that you want to do a camp and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, because she's from Africa. And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, say it again. Are you what?
Are you 501, is it C3? Yeah, 501c3 certified, ma'am.
And guess what my answer was? As a matter of fact, I am.
And as I said, and do.
I was at that time. So guess what? That $1,000, what y'all think that $1,000 about to do, y'all?
My Lord, it's about to multiply.
I'm hitting the 10 grand mark.
Hallelujah.
Oh, okay, so she tells me I'm turning on lights, getting prepared for a product evaluation. So basically, I'm just opening up my salon.
Right.
We ain't open for business.
Right.
They written my business out.
Right.
Holmes Slizzard said, and I quote, "Are you 501c3 ready?" I say, "Yes, I am." She's lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh, that is perfect. I know a lot of my colleagues, because these same brands that she market for, they are $1 million brands.
Yes, ma'am.
And they want to cut a check
for 501c3.
to these 501c3 ready
yes, ma'am.
folk, especially for the inner city black children.
Our brown babies.
Because they don't want to seem like they are prejudiced.
Right.
So I will cut a check for y'all. And guess what? I'm like, well, okay, you might need to edit this part out.
Okay.
But yeah, I basically
She's just being real.
Yeah.
It's just telling the truth.
I am. But so when she said that, she was like, well, I need you to write up a proposal for me and tell me what it is that you need, and I need you to itemize everything that is needed. Tell us a little bit about the background of what you are trying to do, and basically send it over to me, and I will reach out to the people that need to be reached out to. This is March 2020. A couple of days, if not weeks, before the pandemic about to hit.
Before Rona.
Okay. So I said, well, give me by the end of the week. And then, oh, no problem. So we get to doing this work. It resonated, but it didn't penetrate.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So when we at the end of what we were doing here, I'm cutting off the lights. She's following me again. Because at this point, you're thinking, your brain is churning. She was like, because I'm thinking, you would probably get at least, what are you thinking, 10,000? What you say? So I'm like,
you about to make me choke.
Yeah. So she was like, okay, well, do whatever, get your proposal and all that stuff together, and make sure you reach back out to me, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So at this time, we conversing back and forth. I'm getting, we emailing, sending all stuff. What do you think about this? She said, I'm thinking small.
My Lord. And she's being transparent about it, y'all. Because sometimes the Lord got to send people to open our minds and change our perspectives.
I'm telling you. I ain't telling you no hoopla story.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get over so I can get a little get rich quick scam. This is something that I went through. Yeah. And if you zoom in, my eyes getting watery for a reason, because it's real true. And
it's just seeing things manifest, Yeah. So
I'm a living witness to tell you, like, it's for real.
Yeah.
You just got to get out your own way.
Yeah.
So I'm telling her, well, maybe I only need, we're going to say $150 per child.
Slap.
That's it. No, I think you should. No, I said, let's say, because I did an odd number.
Right.
I said 153 per kid. Well, why don't you, I'm looking at your list and seeing all the things that it entails. Why don't you say $300? Make it even. What? Okay. So boom.
Expand, daughter.
Expand your territory, sis. Stop thinking small, because this is something big.
Yeah.
She started like giving me ideas like, oh, and you could do blah 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 and this and that. I'm like, okay. Boom. So we wound up doing my homework and doing whatever I needed to do. She revised it a little bit for me so it could be more appealing, and I understood, because she know her demographic of people and what they are looking for. Right. So I wasn't opposed to that. So then after that was all said and done, we had a committed date. She had people that was committed to it. So when she sent me the email list, I'm looking at these people and I'm recognizing these names. And I'm like, these ain't no play names. So I'm like,
people got dollar signs behind their names.
Well, connected.
Yeah.
Some of these stuff you see some of them are black owned.
Yeah.
And they are on the shelves.
Yeah.
Some of them have been on the shelves for years, and some of them are new and they multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting on no fronts and no ears. I ain't gonna name their names, but I'm just let y'all know.
Naming names.
It ain't no
Dollar Tree stuff no more.
No. It's some real deal Holyfield, heavyweights. So, and there's a lot of natural hair care products. I'll give you little hints of, the natural stuff that's out here. So anyway, she wound up doing what she was doing. She had a commitment date. And then they had a date where they were supposed to cut the check. Well, the check that the commitment dates, we got them to commit, but the check date was the end of the month when the pandemic hit.
Praise Jesus.
The end of that month.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we called back to just do follow-ups, naturally everybody who was committed verbally or through email had to, renege because of the pandemic, and they didn't know what this pandemic was all about and what it entailed. Right. So what y'all think they did? They took me from 10,000 back to $1. Make you holler. I was like, oh, it ain't meant to be, Jesus. It ain't meant to be. I'm just give up.
He wants to. It's all.
It's a test.
The route, the world got to go swerve this way,
straight,
swerve that.
Yeah, it's
swerves.
a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I don't even like roller coasters.
Flips and dips.
Right. So it took the wind out of my sails because it was like, it was too good to be true. It was.
And that's what you thought.
And that's what I thought. But I didn't give up.
Yeah. That part.
I got a little, it knocked me off my rocker. Yeah. But I was like, that's how passionate I was. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep doing this. Something got to give. Yeah. So I reworked because this was supposed to be an in-house camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what could I do? So in the time of us being off, they wound up letting us be, shutting the city down. It gave me time
to do what you need to
do. What I need to do.
Yep.
Now I'm going to put a pause right there.
Okay.
You keep that there.
Okay.
But I'm going to say this to y'all. When you are on your job and you at a 9-to-5 that you do not like, or you just there because you got to pay these bills, and you don't have time to do whatever it is that you want to do, whatever that gift God has given you and you feel passionate about, you would do it for free. But because you don't have the time or you got something to occupy yourself, which means you're turning your back on what you want to do for something that you have to do, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I wanted to always do this, but I did not have the time because I'm always doing hair.
Yeah.
So when God sat me down, I had time to let my creative juices flow. Yeah. So all the things that I already did, I started digging out papers. All this stuff that I'm journaling and writing down, and the stuff that I had now going on 8 years ago. Looking at it, and I'm like, oh, you got all this. So basically, I just got to revise and take 2015 off.
Right.
And put 2020.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So then I'm doing all that, and then I'm thinking I've taken some classes for hair. Because people going out, they have to think creatively, how can I make money while I'm sitting at home?
Absolutely.
Which I've already seen this, but it exploded as far as this virtual thing because everybody home.
Yeah.
So people doing stuff at discounted rates and all that stuff. So I took some color classes. I took some marketing classes. But when I was sitting in my marketing class, help me somebody. I was looking at how she used Zoom.
Yeah.
Free Zoom.
Amen.
Okay. But you can upgrade it to $14.95 Zoom and do a lot of more features on there. And I'm just looking at I'm listening to what she's telling me, but I'm looking at it from an entrepreneur and a business mind of how did she get that screen behind her? Yeah. What font did she use for this? Oh, she got music playing. She got us sitting in a waiting room. Yeah. Like, she got us talking to one another as we wait. Yeah. Everything that she did was intentional. Yeah. But I'm taking notes for her. What she telling me to do? But I'm also taking notes of what
platform that she was having y'all using.
And how she used it.
Yeah. Her Holy Ghost started talking to her, y'all.
I got a turban on for a reason.
I can't deal with her.
So I wound up looking at this, and I'm like, okay, she got all this stuff. Okay, I need to see what make her tick and how she did it. So I got off her Zoom thing, and it got my brain churning. Yeah. So I started looking at some of the stuff that she was using. Some of the things I knew what she was using, but then I had to investigate on how she was using it. Right. I'm writing down, jotting down stuff. Okay. And basically, light bulb went on. You're finna do this class virtually,
yes, ma'am.
So,
yes, ma'am.
What you gonna do is, you're gonna send these kits out to these kids. The stuff that you would use when you were sitting in-house.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna get them to sign up in a timely manner, because I'm just thinking, again, small. I'm thinking for Savannah.
Yeah. The Lord says no.
He said, oh, you thinking small, sis, but I'm gonna elevate you to something bigger. Because sometimes your people that you think supposed to support you, like your family and friends, them be the last on the totem pole. So don't get mad at them.
Right, that part.
Just know that that's not your audience.
Yeah.
Because family and friends don't like to pay no way. So sometimes you have to go outside of your regular schmegular program to get celebrated outside. And then when the other people celebrate you outside, that's when your inner circle want to say, oh, that's my cousin.
Right.
That's my friend. I knew her when she was this.
Right.
And my famous quote is, back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, y'all.
I can't. Yeah, that's my jam. No tweet
I'm good. I'm good, sis. I'm good. I know what you're doing. But I'm not.
That's funny.
Y'all cannot get, and another thing is you can't get hung up on these likes.
Mm-hmm.
Cause baby, you don't get paid $1 per like.
Yeah.
You don't get paid a penny per like.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, because it is a market for that. But don't get hung up on when you posting up stuff that only one person watching. Because if you click that like and just make it into a video and see how many people just be watching you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they watching.
Yeah.
I see you looking what you're looking, Sam.
You so sick, nigga.
But they do watch.
Yeah.
Will they ever hit the like button?
Yeah.
Sometimes 99.9% no. I got clients that will come in here and tell me everything that I'm posting. I don't even post that much.
Right.
But they never hit the like
button.
But you're
or put a heart on it or something.
But they watch.
Encouragement or support.
They watch.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it takes the outside people to celebrate you, and then the other people will follow suit. But by that time, you ain't gonna need them. Okay,
well,
let me tell you the real truth.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I wound up doing this class, and I reached out to these same people, but the same lady who had the connections for all the other people to reach out. Everybody still was on the know, and I was like, okay, cool. But because she had committed to me, and she felt obligated, she cut me a check. It wasn't a $10,000 that I wanted.
Right.
Hallelujah, somebody. But it was a couple of, G's that I could do a little everything that I need.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I, coming from humble beginnings, we know how to stretch a coin.
And do.
Hello, let's be clear. So I stretched that coin. And what I did was I had to charge. So on the back end, she did give me some coins to play with. So I can go ahead and pay for things and get my supplies of what I needed for the kids and all that stuff. But I had needed the potential clients and parents to commit to something.
Right, absolutely.
So I wound up doing my flyers, everything, one more in my show now. I ain't telling you to start big, because I didn't start big.
Yeah.
It was a one-woman show, so I had to do my own flyer, my own marketing, my own this and all that. And once I did that, people was reaching out. Oh, tell me all more about it. Didn't do nothing. So I think my first class was maybe 3 people?
3 or 4 people, maybe.
It was either 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Starting out. So they did the virtual, and it was all good. It was. They were actually local. They were actually local. And it worked out great. I thoroughly enjoyed them. They thoroughly enjoyed me. We had us a ball, but it was a beta test as well, because now I got to learn what I needed to do, what I didn't need to do. They gave me feedback. I gave them homework. And they was on top of it. So I used those same techniques that I did in the school, but I had to do a little more because we can't touch each other.
Right.
So I had to do okay, well, we're only doing 2 hours. I'm going to give y'all some homework, because we can't fit it all in this 2 hours. And they would do it with no problem. Okay. So then, that class was over. I did a graduation and everything. I treated them like it was 30 kids deep.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nothing but 3.
Yeah.
But they appreciate it. So my cousin is connected. Another person God has implemented. Now this is my cousin. She works for corporate Salon Centric. She was in the corporate office. So this is the professional hair supply store for hair professionals. So she is all the way in Florida. She's seeing what I'm doing. She's seeing I'm working, putting in overtime, getting emotional. I don't know why these people don't want it. All that. So she said, Tika, I know this lady named Tippy Shorter. I ain't never heard of Tippy Shorter. Tippy, celebrity to the hairstyles to the stars, Alicia Keys, shoot, there's some other people that I can't think of right now, but she has done set hair, all this type of stuff for celebrities. But she's a natural hair guru. Well, Salon Centric is not getting with us because they need some more of us on their team. And she's a part of it. So she said, well, I just met her. They were here in Florida because she's from Kansas City. She was like, they were here in Florida, and she seems to be very nice. And I think if I reach out to her, she might want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, run it.
Please.
Think it small, because I'm like, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But I ain't want to hurt my cousin feelings.
Right.
Well, little did I know.
Little did you know, ma'am.
Because I'm thinking, what?
Small.
That lady reached out to me, told me what time do I need to be on this Zoom. She was our speaker for 3 whole kids.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. She was the speaker for 3 darn kids. And I treated it like it was 30 kids.
Yeah.
I put on my cap and gown.
Yep.
I had balloons in the backdrop. I sent out a e-invite to the parents and to the kids and the parents. And the parents, it was their responsibility to send it to the family members for our Zoom class. We had pomp and circumstance music. Like, we did a showcase because all their work they had to send to me. So I put it on a slideshow. Like, we talked about what we did. So the people knew what they learned.
Yeah.
Like, they were thoroughly. It was a lady on there was from New York. That was a cosmetology instructor. And she was just like, I'm just in awe.
That's what I was getting ready to say. She probably was just in awe.
She was like, this was so well put together. And I wouldn't have known that this was your first time ever doing it because you just had everything lined up.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff that I was learning along the way, I was implementing into my stuff.
Yeah.
So don't ever think you too good that you can't learn from somebody else.
Yeah.
Big or small.
Yeah.
Because with somebody doing small on the small scale, you can take little things and apply it to your stuff. And with somebody that's doing on a big scale, don't get intimidated to say, oh, that's too big for me. Because it's something that you're trying to reach to get to.
Yeah.
So take some of those things and say, I can't do all of that, but I'm going to take a couple of those things and implement in my stuff.
Right.
And then it elevates you to get to the next level.
Yeah.
We don't start from 1 to 1,000. We got to get from 2 to what? 999 before you get to that 1,000. All right? Okay, so just think about all that in between. You just don't jump from, because if you do,
you gotta go through the process.
You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, I wound up doing that. And then this lady I had been reaching out to, Nikita. Remember, we did the brunch thing. I had reached out to her to be my mentor. Paid some money. She was giving me, showing me the ropes or whatever. And she came in town, and I was like, I want to do this brunch with you, whatever, which we had been conversing well before that. She actually brought it up. But anywho, she has a nonprofit, and it's been thriving for about 10 years. And she has a spinoff with little girls, too. But she has somebody running that part. She deals with the adults. So you got to put everybody in their place.
Yeah.
And it's not in a big I, little we, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Everybody knows their place. The lady who is over the children's part of it, she loves kids, and she's a school teacher. Yeah. So it's natural for her.
Yeah.
So anywho, she came, and we just talking, doing follow-up or whatever. We had lunch, and she was just like, I told her about my first virtual camp, and all of what it entailed. And she's listening to me, but you can see like a light bulb go off, but she don't say nothing. And I was just like, okay, just talking. She gets home, calls me, and was like, how much will it be? I think I got about 10 girls for you.
What?
She was like, my organization, we have our kids portion of it, organization, and because they're in camp, because there's the pandemic, we're trying to find things for them to do. Yeah. So we have funding. Just tell me how much it is. And by the way, they live in Texas.
Out of your state, out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but mind you, I got all my stuff together.
Right.
So be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Because you just might get it. But when you ask for it, you got to be prepared.
Yeah.
Because if you're not prepared, it's gonna pass you right. That shit
Yeah.
gonna sell right on by,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna be looking like you ain't got yourself together.
Crazy.
So my thing is have your house in order. Oh, do it.
Y'all, she's
today.
singing now. She's singing
Get
now.
your house in order. Oh, do it right away. I had my house in order. It was just an overwhelming experience
Yeah.
because I'm a
Yeah.
one-woman show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I had to do was find somebody that could help me on an off day that just needed a couple of coins I could shoot out to them.
Yeah.
So I paid somebody that I knew to come in and help me because I got the space.
Yeah.
I pulled out my table, I got all my boxes, and I got all my supplies, and we started putting stuff together. We put some music on and started putting packing boxes.
Yep.
I shipped all these things out, $15 a pop,
Yep.
to these people, and they not just in one hub. I'm shipping it to their front door.
Yeah.
So some people on the outskirts of Texas, some people, on the outskirts of Houston, I should say, because she's from Houston. So it's like Pearl Lynn, Katie, all this stuff. So they going in different areas, but I got to get it to them all at the same time because school starts, our camp starts on a Monday,
Yeah.
and ends on a Friday. So I'm doing all this stuff, getting everything together, shipping it out, blah, blah, blah. They get it. When they first get the box and open it, it's strict instructions. And you have to follow it because it
Yeah.
all makes sense. You can't open everything at one time.
Mm-hmm.
They getting all this stuff. We do the same thing. But what I did was with the first Tippy Shorter doing the closing ceremony for us, she opened their eyes to telling them, and it was inspirational for me because I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, it is. You're right." She was like, "Don't think being behind the chair is the end all be all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so much more to this. Like you could be doing hair on TV and filming sets. She
Yeah.
knew I was doing that.
Yeah.
She was telling them how you could do celebrity hair. She was telling you how they do commercials. All this stuff, even in for beauty supply stuff. When you see these people on the front of the boxes of the hair care thing, that was somebody being paid, a hairstylist being paid. Come on, somebody.
So I'm somebody.
To do, say I use her as my muse.
Yeah.
I'm doing her hair, but her face is going on the front of a perm box.
It's going on there, y'all. Watch me. Watch
But
us.
it was me. It took a hairstylist to do
the
that.
hair. Yeah.
So they
yeah.
gonna pay you.
Yeah.
And they ain't paying you no love money.
Yeah.
It's coin.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different ways, and you can make your own products. It's all kind of ways
A
to make
whole
money
nother
just from
world,
doing
though.
this one
Yeah.
little gift.
Yeah.
And so, anywho, she was just showing them and telling them, and that was things that I already was teaching them anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like to hear from somebody else, it was like, oh, yeah, she just
Yeah.
told us
Right,
that.
right.
So it opened their eyes as well. Well, what I did was I recorded that. And for each other class, I just replayed her same speech.
Yeah.
So she was always
Yeah.
my guest speaker when it came time for us to have the graduation. So, did that. Then the word got out again. I got some people in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know these people to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Got some people in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know these people to this day.
The Lord knows them.
I got somebody, got a person, a child all the way in Ohio.
Yeah.
I don't know these people
Yeah.
to this day.
Yeah.
I had a person from Atlanta.
Mhm.
And I don't know these people to this day.
Yeah.
But guess what all the parents said when they gave me feedback? Whenever you do this virtual thing again, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we will sign our kids up with no problem.
Yeah.
Because that's how thoroughly I had my stuff together.
Yeah.
Which leads me to fast forward to this year. People asked me, was I doing the camp again? And I really didn't want to do it because it was a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I had some people from Texas again
Ma'am.
ask me. They heard about what the other kids had did and they missed out and they wanted me to sign up. But I had so much other things going on, I couldn't commit myself to do all that because it's a one-woman show.
Mm-hmm.
However, I did commit to do the in-house.
Yeah.
I did it 2 times. One, I had, 5 girls?
Mm-hmm.
They thoroughly enjoyed themselves.
Yeah.
And the second go round, I ain't had nothing but 2. But guess how I treated all of them? Like it was 20 deep.
Yeah.
And I treated the other ones like it was 50 deep.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. It was just an person thing.
Yeah.
All the things that I use as my PowerPoint on the Zoom, I programmed it on my phone, on my salon's TV
Yeah.
as my PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So all the stuff coincide with everything, and it's still, I had my stuff together.
Yeah.
To the point where the students, and you know how hard it's hard to keep their attention, and especially for 2 hours straight, they were thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
And they asked the same thing the parents asked virtually, when are you going to have the next one? Because I want to sign up again.
Yeah.
I had a parent that tell me on text message, my daughter woke up on time every morning. And this started at 9 o'clock. And they was coming from Rankin. So they had to be on the road by 8.
By 8, yep.
She said she was waking her up every morning on time, clothes laid out like it's the first day of school. She said, I don't, because I wouldn't allow the parents to come in because it's still COVID.
Right.
She said, I don't know what you did with my child. But whatever it was, you had her attention from the start to the very end.
Yeah.
So whenever you come up with something else, let me be the first to know, because I will sign her up with no problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to go all the way back. It took an hour long, an hour and 3 minutes, but who counted? But just to let y'all know, it's a process with anything that you do.
Absolutely.
Nothing is overnight. And if it is, it ain't going to last long.
Yeah. Yeah.
To whom much is given, much is required.
Say it again for the people
To
in the
whom
back.
much is given,
Yes,
much is
Lord.
required.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this same thing that I started me in my journey when I was young is now making me pour into other kids at the same age I was when I started out, in hopes to when they might get bigger than me. And what I always tell them, if you ever get successful and you have to do your thank you for your Grammys or whatever,
yeah.
I want you to tell a story. I don't remember this little old lady, but she was short in stature. She was light skinned, and I think she worked at one of the schools my elementary school. But she was the after school lady. And I just want you to say that if there was not for her implementing or planting that seed in me, where would I be
here today? Yeah.
Because if it was not for my aunt planting the seed of that bag full of ISO Plus stuff, where would I be?
Where would you be? Yeah.
So every time I can't tell my story without including my aunt. And she'd be like, you don't have to tell people that. But you were the reason why I started.
Yeah.
Because you saw that, well, I ain't going to buy her no video game. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to buy her no clothes. I see that y'all telling me, because my aunt didn't stay in the city.
Yeah.
I hear that y'all saying that she's doing hair in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, let me pour into and invest in what it is that she's doing.
That part.
And ISO Plus wasn't expensive back then. It took 25,000 years for everything to dry.
Right.
But it wasn't expensive. But it was out of salaries. But that's all we had back then.
Yeah.
So I was learning as I was going, as I am doing now.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I'm going.
Yeah.
But once you put one foot forward, God gonna continue to give you the desires of your heart, and He gonna keep pushing you and keep walking you through that shadow. Because you don't know what's on the other side.
You don't. And
you think it's
gonna be good. Yeah.
But it ain't fear.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead sugar foot.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you ain't got no faith, nothing gonna ever come to fruition.
Yeah.
But what I have learned, and I'm gonna end it on this: what you believe, you will build.
Yeah.
What you deny, you gonna delay.
Yeah.
So I messed that up. What you doubt, what you believe, you gonna build. What you doubt, you will delay.
Yeah.
And I've learned that in the last couple of months. I doubt myself all the dang on time. But it be people like this one here shoot me text messages talking about, girl, you got this. And I'm like, I do, don't I? I got it. You're right. But it be people like her who don't know what a text message of motivation, just a little heart and saying words of encouragement will do to you. Yeah. Because when you feel like you're in a world by yourself and you feel like you're on an island by yourself with all these dreams, because some people are used to just doing the day-to-day normal stuff, you will feel like you by yourself.
Yeah.
So when you get somebody to say, girl, I see what you're doing and you're doing it well, and it's coming from a genuine place,
absolutely,
you hold on to that.
Absolutely.
Because your family and your friends sometimes be the number one hater waiting for you to fall.
Yeah.
But then when you be on top, then it's, oh, that's my niece.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I know this is a lot. I don't know how y'all gonna chop it and screw it, but I hope it helps somebody to encourage them to put that best foot forward.
Yeah.
And even if you fall, you still, it's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I fell a few times.
Yeah.
But guess what I did?
Dust
myself off. And I'm like, all right, God. I see what you're doing here.
Right. I'm going to try
it again. You ain't going to stop me.
Yeah.
So after me doing the virtual thing, I'm going to say this too.
Yeah.
After me doing the virtual thing, and I did not stop. Because I sent video in a video montage to the lady.
Yeah.
Who was helping with the funding. But it was out of her control, and I understood that. But she did give me some money. So I was like, well, let me do my part.
Yeah, be responsible with this.
And give her what she paid for.
Yeah.
So when she came and did another product evaluation again, and I'm getting paid again for this, I showed her, I sent her an email, but I showed her the video of the montage. So she was just like lit up again.
Yeah.
Oh, you did this thing. And you didn't just stop.
Yeah.
You did it several times. She turned around and was like, well, do you plan to do it this year? Which was the in-house that I did.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. You reached out and sent another check.
Yeah.
And this time, you helped me again. But I hadn't did my proposal last year for the virtual thing.
Right.
Well, we didn't know it was going to be virtual.
Right.
And I wound up typing, so we had some stuff. Well, based off of what she gave me, I implemented what I needed to implement, and I dressed it up a little bit better because what she did was okay.
Yeah.
Cutesy. Yeah. It wasn't cute. But for me, I wanted to have all this bing, bang, boom. And I have a video to show what I did in the previous. So now I have some footage to show that I'm not just talking about it. I'm about it.
Yeah.
Because although I couldn't do it in the physical, I did it virtually.
Yeah.
So they got that. So that same video of all the stuff that I did, I put it in my proposal, sent it to her. She sent it out to some people.
Yeah.
Checks started flowing.
Amen.
And they were more than $500 each. And I got one that was a couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
And they sent product.
Yeah. Amen.
From their businesses.
Amen. Yeah.
For me to put in the bag. All they asked was to be on the back of the t-shirt.
That's all.
And on the tote bag.
Just call their name out one time.
One is
I'm just saying if you can't, that's fine. But what I'm saying is all they wanted you to do was put their name on a t-shirt.
As I Am
or
is
a bag.
one of them. As I Am is one. That's a natural hair brand.
Yeah.
I can't think of them off the top of my head.
But that's fine, because the moral of that story is she kept on pushing.
Yeah.
You kept on pushing, Tika, even when, like you said, the whole thing exploded.
Yes.
Because Corona came showing up. But at the end of the day,
showing her tail.
Right. But at the end of the day, you persevered and you kept going and you put your stuff together and you still got yourself together. And so I truly believe that next year will bring even more because you adapted from doing it one way when you thought everybody was going to be in-house. But I just feel like, people got a lot of revelation from, Corona come in and all this stuff or whatever, and businesses were started and whatever. But he just had to open your mind to do something that you could still do it. Yeah, that you could still do it. But I just need you to tweak it now because they can't be in-house. So what you going to do?
Right.
You going to drop the dream?
Or you going to believe it?
Or you going to believe it and keep on going?
Because whatever you put your mind to, you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But absolutely. If you don't know your outside surroundings and all you are, if you just conditioned to being one way all the time, you're never going to step outside that box. Yeah. You're never going to know what's on the other side because you're just in your safe place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you start feeling uncomfortable and you feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, just know that, take that negative and make it into a positive. Just know that you're feeling uncomfortable because God about to shift you.
Yeah.
And he got to get
making
you uncomfortable in order for you to do things. So that's why sometimes you hear people say, well, I lost my job. I got fired. And then when I got fired, it made me do or push me to do blocks and skip, run, jump.
Yep.
Because if you never would have got fired, sister or brother, somebody out there, you wouldn't have never known what it is to be on the other side because you just conditioned to go and do the run of the mill, same old.
Yeah.
But it's like you keep saying in the same breath, Lord, if you just would help me get out of this, and if I could do this, I would do that. But he said, well, you ain't gonna never quit the job.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to get them to fire you, sis.
Yeah.
You looking like, why would you do this? I got all these bills, but he got to make you uncomfortable. So when you become uncomfortable, that sends some type of drive in you.
Yeah.
Because you know these bills coming next month.
Look,
so I got to get on with the good foot.
Yeah.
And that's what ignites you and pushes you to do whatever it is that you always been sitting on.
Yeah.
I've been sitting on this for a long time. But it wasn't until the city got shut down.
Listen, he had to get you quiet. Yeah.
And I could hear all my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I just put them down on paper. And I got to work. I put my head down in the sand. You can't be worrying about what other people thinking and what they saying now.
Yeah.
Put your head down in the sand, get to work. And then when you look up, that's why people like successful people, they don't fool with the drama.
Please.
Because when your head low and you getting to work,
you ain't got time.
You
don't hear all the noise.
You don't hear that.
You don't.
So when people trying to come and say, oh, your little business, how your little stuff going.
Walk away, Tika. Walk away.
Your little thing.
Walk away. Walk away. That part.
I be wanting to correct them and say,
you don't have to.
Baby, you don't know how big these checks be, son. But I let them say that little, because you know what that little do thing, that's a little jab. But that makes them feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
But see, I don't never brag and boast, but baby, let me tell you, my 501c3 it ain't nothing but 2 years old.
Yeah.
It ain't even really 2. It's like 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
But the amount of coins that have been distributed to my little 501c3, she doing real good.
Yeah.
And look, I ain't pension from that. She got that 501c3 has its own banking account, its own EIN number. Like we do our little taxes. So you ain't finna take me to jail for that because I don't take direction very well.
Listen,
and orange ain't my color.
What? You so crazy.
However,
look, and she legit with it, and she got a whole business in these streets and handling that money that come in for that. For those purposes that it was gathered for.
You got some people that's out here. Well, just send me a cash app. Just do that. And I'm not knocking that. Right. But there's a lot of people that be fronting and stunting. But I'm telling you, I don't do the jail very well. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just saying, don't let nobody come in and disrupt whatever it is that God has planted on your heart.
Absolutely.
Or whatever you feel like you know that is genuine and it could be something. Yeah. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be an easy road. But you just got to be consistent and keep going. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Yeah. Because if God see that you are putting forth the effort and you trying to make an effort to do whatever it is you do, He going to see you through. Yeah. You just got to believe in Him. And sometimes you just got to say, Lord,
I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Lord, help me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it scared too.
And if you say, Lord, help me, He gonna help you, but you got to be open for the help. Yeah. Come on, somebody, and I'm going ahead and go with that. Yeah. You take that how you want to, but y'all, I know y'all wasn't prepared for this preaching and this teaching. But
look, and her cash app is
it's $. Don't even send it to me. Send it to my nonprofit. Go to www.belovemore.com. That's www.belovemore.com. And I have a donations tab on that. Amen. And whatever you want to do, send that to them babies, because that's who my passion is for. Like, Amen. I'm okay. God has blessed me enough that He's implemented other things in me that I am okay. Yeah. But I would like to help my kids. Yeah. Because what I plant into them, it plants into me, and it makes me grow and it makes me flourish. Yeah. So if you want to donate there. Amen. Okay, and you can go on my website and just check it out. Yeah, check it out. Y'all be blessed now. I ain't gonna talk no more. Look,
listen, y'all. We were supposed to be doing the hair shooting this quick little video, and you see, we done had church and all kind of things, and we was laughing earlier because she said, "I see you can't do two things at one time," because I was trying to text and email and talk to her, and then I got discombobulated, and so y'all, I just wanted to really just show y'all an example of somebody who took that step, and walked out on faith, even though she was scared and like when she was trembling her teeth, she really was trembling.
Really was.
Because, like I said, I've sat here and heard her talk about what she want to do, and to see it manifest is just God. And it's absolutely amazing to watch it unfold. And it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. So make sure that y'all go to our foundation page, and anything that you donated is much appreciated. And I'm telling y'all, because I know her, that she's using it for the kids and to pour into them and to make the camp experience amazing. And
I have pictures on there, so you can go and look and see.
Yeah, absolutely. You have pictures and just the daily pics from camps that she was posting with them, doing hair and doing color and doing all these things. And like she said, all she's doing is passing along a seed that was sown into her many years ago. And so I'll tell you this, and then I'm going to go. Because hubby probably going to be calling in a minute saying, you still getting your hair fixed, ma'am?
It turned into a testimony.
It was testimony service at Lux Salon.
Please.
But the one thing that I do want y'all to know, because I mentioned it at the beginning, is that it has been 3 weeks. Because, baby, y'all may have heard her say that she does film. And so another testimony that she didn't share with y'all was that she started doing being on the team for the hairstylist for films that would be shot in Savannah. Mm-hmm. And she started on the team a few years ago, and so she has quite a few films up under her belt. Mm-hmm. And when those opportunities come, even though we'd be taking pictures and putting our hair on Facebook saying we miss you and all this, because she does shut down her stuff, and she'll go and work on a film, and she's been in the background, but just like she said, it's a process. You don't get there like overnight. It does. For some people, things do happen overnight. Mm-hmm. But almost everybody, you hear their story or you talk to them, they say, I've been doing this for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, 40. I mean, look at Tabitha Brown, 20 something years. You know what I'm saying? So there's a story behind it all. And so Tika's been gone from doing hair for 3 weeks because she was actually on this Round Go, this movie. She was actually the lead hair designer for this particular film, which is yet another accomplishment that the Lord graced her to be able to accomplish. And so that's why all her clients been around here with their hair down wavy. Or with a wig on, because she been working on folks' films and directing people doing hair and all kind of stuff going on or whatever. So it's just another part of something that she did tell me that, it was a desire for her to do. And of course she was saying the highs and the lows about it and everything. But she inspires me to keep going, as well as, I try to inspire her anytime I'm sitting in this chair and we act the whole fool together. But we really do be talking about stuff, y'all. And so I just wanted to say that. So I hope this talk that I had with my stylist again.
Look, that went a little over.
Right. But it's okay. Because my media team is amazing.com, and it's going to do what it need to do.
Yes.
But she is a living example of, the things that God will do and the people he'll put in place when you but trust him. And like I said while Tika was talking, like, if y'all got to do it, do it scared. Mm-hmm. We doing this podcast, y'all, half of the time, like, y'all know, we come on here and we talk about what's going on in our life, and sometimes we don't have a clue about what we're doing and trying to get branding deals and just all this stuff, but we still moving ahead because, as you can see with Tika, that she is completely and utterly sold out and passionate about pouring seeds in the kids and the camps and the etiquette camps and the working on these film productions and stuff like that and expanding her resume. And so I just wanted to talk to her tonight and for y'all to hear it live and live in color. We ain't rehearsed nothing. Because if y'all would have known, if we would have rehearsed this and this was filming, yeah, as well as she would have had her hair done, lashes popping, earrings on, lips smacking, and everything else. I'm for real, y'all. So, I even caught her off guard with this, but I'm so glad that I did, y'all, because God ordains everything and everything has a purpose under heaven. Amen. Because I was the last person, y'all, and I didn't even know it. And she wouldn't even answer her phone, y'all, and her husband came up here to see what she wanted for dinner. Look, I'm about to get her killed and about to get me killed in just a minute. But thank y'all so much for watching. Like I said, I just hope that y'all are inspired to move and to do something and to get up and do it. Do it scared. Do it if your family members ain't supporting you or whatever. Yeah, it don't even matter who support you, who don't. Be so busy about your business, about the Lord's business, that you ain't got time to just look up to see who clapping or who not clapping. Exactly. Yeah, that part. So, I'm gonna go because I got a little bit of battery left, y'all. But I really, really, really am extremely proud of Sally Sue back here cutting up this wig for me, y'all. And so again, y'all go to her page. Look at the stuff that she's been doing with the kids, her foundation. Give if you can. No amount is too big or too small. And she's Lux, the salon in Savannah. If you need your hair done, book her on her site. And all that good stuff. So I'm about to sign out so I can finish getting my hair done, y'all. I just got a fresh perm. I missed it to her because she's been gone for 3 weeks. So I'm going to talk to y'all on the next version or episode of Get Ready With Me.
Look, let them know if they want to have me back. I'll condense into like 10 minutes and I'll be cute. So if y'all want to hear from me, let us know. We do another one together. Right. We just have to schedule accordingly.
Exactly. The next one y'all know is going to be scheduled because she going to be fine. I'm talking about like magazine cover ready fine. But I caught her off guard tonight, and I believe that she shared with a grateful heart. She opened her heart to y'all. And I'm so glad that I got it on camera. And so we gonna go. The next time we gonna have Sally Sue, who sits about two chairs down, but Miss April Lynn, the Cobb, we calling you out because she's in Jamaica, getting her groove back. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. But y'all have an amazing night. As I finish getting my hair done to do absolutely nothing this weekend, but I'm gonna be fine sitting in the house and going back to work next week. So y'all have an amazing weekend. This has been Deidre with Moments with the Mobleys. Get ready with me, featuring my stylist, Latika Early.
Encourage and inspire somebody.
Amen. Even if it's just one, but we know it'll be more. So y'all hold it down, and I'm gonna talk to y'all later, okay? All right, ladies. Night.